Hey everyone, my name's Ted. I'm an English coach and certified ESL teacher, and if you're struggling to write strong paragraphs, please stick around to the end of this video because I'm going to show you a template that you can use for all sorts of writing situations, and I'll be making videos on all of those in the future. Today we're just going to stick to the basics. If you like what you see today, go ahead and visit my website where you can get some free English study materials, book a free consultation with me, or shoot me a message on WhatsApp. So what is a paragraph? Whenever I ask my students this question, I get a variety of answers, but there's usually a few repeaters, such as a lot of sentences in a rectangle, a lot of words stuck together in one group, a block of words and sentences. They're usually around 3 to 5 sentences long. They can be longer, they can be shorter, but we really want to focus on paragraphs being a complete idea. If your paragraphs are not a complete idea, your reader's going to be confused. So what is a complete idea? A complete idea just means that the reader isn't confused about what you're trying to say. Now, you may need to add more detail to your paragraphs, but the reader knows the basics of what you're trying to say. Another way to think about it is each paragraph should have one idea. So if you start your paragraph talking about how you really like to play video games, but you end your paragraph about, I don't know, the day you went to the zoo, these are two completely different ideas, right? Now, you might have played video games and gone to the zoo on the same day, but they are two different ideas, so you need to provide two separate paragraphs. So what we have here is just a template for writing paragraphs. TEDL. Now, there are other acronyms and mnemonics out there, lots of other templates that are used. I created this one. It's based on another one that is very similar, but I kind of modified it as I was working with my students because I saw them struggling with these other acronyms and mnemonics that were already out there. As I started using this consistently and requiring my students to use it on every single writing assignment, their confidence and communication really excelled. You know, the point is that you use it until you don't have to anymore. You use it until you are able to lose it, right? I really think that you will find it helpful, and let's see how this works. You've got your topic sentence, example sentence, detail, and then a last and linking sentence. TEDL is going to help you write perfect paragraphs every time. Now, you can use this for emails, you could use this for letters to a friend, you could use this for written responses on tests. I've seen my students use it for even writing a letter to their boss when they had to write a response to a utilities company to contest a charge. I mean, the list goes on and on. My students have used it in almost any capacity that you could think of where you would need to write a paragraph. So T stands for topic sentence. Your topic sentence tells the reader what you're writing about, and everything after that topic sentence needs to relate to the idea that you present in this sentence. If your next sentence does not relate to your topic sentence, start over. E, example. This is where you provide an example to make the idea presented in your topic sentence more clear. So if you're writing a paragraph about doing cardio or exercising, your example sentence might talk about walking on the treadmill. This is really just expanding upon the topic sentence to give your reader a better understanding of what you're trying to say. D, your detail. This is where you give even more detail about that topic. So you may build upon that example you presented in your example sentence, or you might just provide another example that helps make your topic more clear. Every paragraph is different, but every idea is going to build upon the last. So what you present in your topic sentence, you build upon that with your example sentence, and then in your detail sentence, you build even more upon that. So by the time you get to your detail sentence, there should be very few questions in the reader's mind about what you are trying to say. And then L, the last and linking sentence. There's two names for this, last and linking. That's because this is not only the last sentence in your paragraph, but it also needs to link to the topic sentence. And all I mean by that is that it needs to still be on topic. So if you get to the end of your paragraph and you're talking about a new idea, then you might need to rethink or start over. We'll talk a little bit about how that works in just a moment here. So let's look at an example. Last week, I went to Lummi Island and stayed with friends. The island is very small and there is nothing to do, but it is full of forests and very beautiful landscapes. I loved looking at the trees, mountains, and the sea. I also went for several hikes in the mountains and around the beach. Lummi Island is amazing and I can't wait to go back. So that topic sentence is clear. It tells us exactly what we are discussing, going to Lummi Island and staying with friends. The island is very small and there's nothing to do, but it's full of forests and very beautiful landscapes. I'm giving you an example of what I saw, what I experienced. This is building upon the idea of visiting a place and telling the reader what we saw or did at that place. In my detail section, where I'm talking about looking at trees, mountains, the sea, and going for hikes, this is building upon the idea of what there is to do there. There's my detail sentence, where I'm talking about looking at the trees, mountains, the sea, going on hikes, right? This is building upon the idea that this is a place to go to experience nature. There's forests and very beautiful landscapes. And then in that linking sentence, Lummi Island is amazing and I can't wait to go back, you'll notice I am still talking about visiting Lummi Island. And so there is a link. If you are still talking about the same idea at the end of your paragraph, you're good to go. So let's talk about writing prompts. Writing prompts are just a sentence, maybe two, that tell you what you are supposed to be writing about. Today we have a writing prompt that says, write about your favorite pastime. And a pastime is just something that you like to do when you're not having to go to work or school or, get caught up with one of life's many obligations. So for example, one of my favorite pastimes is playing guitar. I also like to cook and go for walks with my dog. So take a moment or two to think about some of your favorite pastimes, maybe pause the video, and then I'm going to read you an example paragraph that's written based on this writing prompt, and then try writing your own. So let's take a look at a sample paragraph. Write about your favorite pastime. Making pizza is my favorite pastime because my favorite family member, my great-grandfather, taught me how to make pizza when I was a kid. That's a pretty clear and detailed topic sentence. Now, if you can't write a sentence this detailed yet, don't worry about it. Just make it as clear as possible. Now let's look at the example sentence. For example, I make pizza 3 times a week, and I usually make pepperoni, spinach, and supreme. So I could have told you a lot of different details. I could have expanded upon, my grandfather teaching me. I could have told you about, different ways to make pizza, but instead I told you how many times a week that I make it and the types of pizza that I make. In the detail sentence, I'm going to expand upon this idea. Now, if I'm making pizza 3 times a week, that's a lot of pizza. So I said, I usually share with my friends and family when they come over for potluck dinners we host every Friday. But don't be surprised if I eat the whole pie myself. So here I'm telling you what I do with all of this pizza because, like I said, if I'm making it 3 times a week, I have a lot of pizza hanging around the house. And then in that last and linking sentence, I say, so if you do not know how to make pizza, you should ask me to show you how. I am still talking about making pizza, and so this works. It also closes out the idea nicely. It's a complete idea. I'm not transitioning to a new idea. I'm not getting lost in the details or lost in the sauce, the pizza sauce, if you will. So some of you may have put together that this is called Teddle and my name is Ted. That was a coincidence, but it works. So the most important thing to remember is that when you're writing paragraphs, they need to be a complete idea. And you can use TEDL to make sure that your ideas build upon each other. So your topic sentence gives a clear idea, your example sentence builds upon that idea, your detail sentence gives even more information, and then your last and linking sentence just closes your idea, and it kind of helps you check to make sure that you have not gotten off track. So if you need any help with this, please reach out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.